Hey, welcome to Minipod episode 42. No fluff, just good stuff in under 5 minutes. You know, for the first 10 years after having moved from California to Southern Oregon, we lived out in the country. Now, if you were standing on the back porch and looking out over our property, now to the right, you couldn't help but notice two large maple trees. One time I had an arborist. He told me that these were two of the couple of just the largest maple trees he'd ever seen. Can you imagine that? And my guess is that they were both about, I don't know, 4, maybe 4.5 feet wide at the base. I've often wondered how old those trees must have been to achieve that size. Now, one year, while attempting to build a birdhouse and put the birdhouse at the base of one of the trees, my foot slipped off the shovel, and much to my surprise, it broke through the tree, revealing a hollow center. That's right, this huge tree was completely hollow on the inside, and I couldn't help but wonder how safe this was. I mean, after all, the tree was located near our house, and if a big wind came, it would fall over and it could do damage. Now, I had an arborist friend who came out and, to inspect the tree, and he told me that, yes, indeed, I did have a problem on my hands, that the tree had probably been sick for quite some time, and that, unfortunately, it needed to come down. Now, I asked him, how is it possible for a tree to be as hollow on the inside as this one and yet appear to be normal on the outside? And he told me that trees are pretty resilient, and obviously this one was still able to draw enough moisture and nutrients from the soil through its thin outer shell. And so, as you can imagine, a crew showed up the following week and began this 2-day process of cutting down my dear old friend. We'd been living there for over 6 years at that point before discovering that this seemingly healthy tree was actually hollow on the inside. Even though it was still producing and sprouting leaves and providing shade and hosting birds and other forest creatures, it was hollow in the center. I began to think how easy it is for those of us who lead others to be hollow on the inside, but apparently healthy on the outside. Sometimes, we're aware of our own hollowness and either minimize it or ignore it. Sometimes we even tell ourselves that our hollowness is, it's temporary. Over time, I'll correct myself. Had I not accidentally kicked the tree, I would have never known its true condition. Probably, however, sometime in the future, when we experience a big storm, the tree would have come crashing down, and then we would have discovered that it was hollow in the center. We can be unaware of our own hollowness until we get kicked or faced with a storm. The true condition of our soul, that's when it's going to be revealed. The ministry is a dangerous thing for one's inner life. The reason for this is that we spend our days doing good and spiritual things or ministry-related things, and we can draw a certain amount of nutrients from the ministry tasks that make up the life of a pastor. And these nutrients are just enough to give us the appearance on the outside of help, but not enough to prevent the hollowness of soul that results from a neglect of soul care. Let me ask you today, how is your center? Don't wait until you get kicked or until a strong wind blows and you discover your true condition. If you found today's mini pod helpful, make sure you subscribe so that you never miss one in the future. Hit that like button. This is Dave Jacobs of Small Church Pastor. Thanks for giving me a listen to, and I'll see you next week.